Hey guys, it's Dustin with Tennessee Woods and Water. We're going to be talking to you today about our new BroadForce broadhead target. We're really excited about this product and it's really high quality. And we're happy to be bringing you a review about it, and hopefully it's something you may be interested in as well. The story behind this target is we were sighting in our new crossbow that our children got for Christmas, and it was shredding up our broadhead target. Our other targets was doing okay with field points, but when we needed to move to broadheads to get them sighted in for taking them out for hunting, our standard layered foam target would not stop it. So I spoke with my local archery shop out here in Maryville, Tennessee, Bow Hunters Pro Shop, and they said, hey, we've got this target, it's a great option. So I went over and got one and checked it out. All right, guys, we've turned the camera around. We're going to let you look at the target, and Jeremiah's going to come in, and he's going to help us measure it.
Hi, so right here, 15, and 15.
So this is a standard cube. My understanding is you can shoot all sides of it, unlike some targets where it's field points one side, broadheads another. You can shoot it all sides. They recommend you can leave it out in the sun for a little while, soften it up. It makes it a little bit easier to shoot. And your arrows, if you don't use wax, your arrows and your bolts will get stuck. So one day, Jeremiah recently went out to shoot it, and he'll tell you the story about what happened.
So I didn't wax it, and you're supposed to wax the bolts with some kind of wax, and I forgot to wax it, and I was standing on it, pulling it up, and it wouldn't budge. So he had to come home and drive it out with a hammer.
You had to take a rubber mallet and drive the bolt through, and thankfully it was able to pull out. It wasn't as stuck as some of them are, but some of them you have to break them and drive them out, and you can't retrieve them again. Thankfully, we didn't have that problem. So once again, Jeremiah, hold that wax up and let them see what it was.
Okay. So it's 10 point premium lubricant with foam application.
So this is just a little bottle, and you rub it on your bolts or your arrows. And that's all we did. We rub them on. They recommend rubbing it on the first portion of your bolt that's going to go in the air, or it's going to go in the target. So I did about that far up. They said when it starts to feel dry again, you can go ahead and reapply it. So we've talked about you can shoot this on all sides. We've talked about the carry handle. We've talked about how well it stops these crossbow bolts. I haven't shot it with a compound. I'm still not recovered from my bicep surgery, so I can't pull back my compound this year, or for the next few months. Next, we're going to take it outside and we're going to shoot it. A couple more things to talk about is BroadForce, I believe, is located here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The price on this target online, this is called the Midas, or the Midas is the one online comparable to it. The Midas target is $139.99 plus shipping. Now, my local store, it was priced a little differently, so you'll have to check your local outlets and see what you can get. Now we're going to take the video outside. One thing about this target that myself and a lot of people really enjoy is the high-vis orange with the black dots. So I'm going to zoom in. So this is only at 21 yards. You can really see. It's got a really good contrast. Easy to see through the scope. You can see there through the scope. The camera keeps trying to zoom in and out. It's having a hard time focusing, but you can see it just shows up really well. Okay, one problem people say about these type of solid core foam, there's no question they stop, and they stop really well. The arrows or the bolts sometimes do get stuck in them because of how they stop. So I've waxed my bolts really well last night, and the last one was really hard to pull out. I was able to with two hands. My son, Jeremiah, he wasn't able to. He was really sad about that. I bought a jar opener, which is just a piece of rubber with grippies on it. It's supposed to be able to help with that, but I couldn't find them today. So I'm going to try to put one foot on this, see if I can get it out. Nope, wasn't able to do it with one hand. Let me see if I can do it with two. Okay, so now that I just kind of barely broke it loose, it comes out pretty easy. So that's that. I think it's a great target, and I think it stops the bolts very well. I'll get a video soon about using a broadhead. Okay guys, so we have our broadhead on here. This is specifically a hybrid, Muzzy hybrid HBX, Trocar HBX. We've got our target put in at 20 yards. They say it does better with broadheads than it does field points because it stops them a little better. The field points penetrate a little deeper. So we'll see how it does at stopping this, and then we'll do a quick clip about retrieving it, see how it does. All right guys, we're gonna shoot this at the center hole of our BroadForce target here. We're gonna see how it stops, and we're gonna see how well this Muzzy HBX, this crossbow hybrid broadhead. All right guys, so on this side, you can see broadhead went in a little bit further. Then this side here with the field point.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how hard it is to retrieve the broadhead. Yeah, it's stuck pretty tight. So let's go to the other side and see if we can get out our field point. Turn this around. It's still the field point side. Well, it's stuck pretty good for now. So we're going to have to use a little bit different method. So we'll get another video on that later. All right, guys, you've seen us shoot it. You've seen how well this BroadForce broadhead target stops crossbow bolts tipped with field points and broadheads. Let's put it on the scale, see how it weighs in. All right. The scale's really made for weighing bigger stuff, so it's a little hard to tell the small indications. I would say that's 12 pounds. All right, guys, in comparison, we've seen the weight there on the BroadForce broadhead target, but for comparison, we're going to put the Hurricane bag target, which I really recommend if you just want a field point target. It's really good at stopping those. Whoa, man, that thing really weighs in. Let me get my scale settled out to where the bag can hang. Oh, this thing's twisty. Twisty. Yeah. You know, I'd weigh that in at about 20 pounds. All right, guys, so you've seen the BroadForce target. We weighed it. We put it up against the Hurricane target. We didn't shoot to show you the difference between the Hurricane target, the bag target. The bag target stops well, and it works easier in a lot of ways than the BroadForce target. Bag targets are always going to be easier to use than a solid core foam as long as you're not using a broadhead. So if you're not using a broadhead, you're not going to be hunting anytime soon, bag targets are great. But this BroadForce target, I recommend 100%. It's amazing. I give it a 5 out of 5 on everything. I think the only drawback, one is price, but you're getting a quality target. A solid core target is always expensive. And then also with the way they're made, it's really hard to get the arrows out. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say if you have, I'm pretty strong and sometimes I have a hard time getting them out. So if you have some limitations on that, you might want to consider another target as well. But otherwise, I really love this target. I guess with those two limiting factors, I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. I love the durability. I love the portability. I love the shootability. I like the visibility. I think it's affordable for the amount of shots you're going to get in it. I bought a cheap layered foam target, well, an affordable layered foam target for $40 or $50 a year or two ago. And after one season of shooting it with broadheads, it was really cut to pieces. And I like to practice a lot with broadheads. Once you start getting good with broadheads, it's hard to switch back over to your field points if you're going to do hunting a lot. So that's that. So I do recommend this BroadForce target. There's going to be a link to their webpage. I'm not sure if your local store handles these, but there's a link to the webpage here for the BroadForce site. It's a good target. I really enjoy it. And if you're going to be shooting a lot of broadheads, or if you're like us and you have a family that shoots a lot of broadheads together, I really recommend this target. So this is Dustin.
This is Jackson.
With Tennessee
Woods and Water.
Telling you to get out there and find your fun.
Don't forget to subscribe and like that bell. Bye.
See ya.